Okay. Rory, yeah. Cameras all good here at the back? Excellent. Rory, over to you, mate.
Thank you. Hi, Mo.
Hi, mate.
After the score at lunchtime, how pleased are you walking off the field tonight with how the last two sessions played out?
We're obviously really pleased and still to be in the game, and still obviously a good chance. Tomorrow morning's crucial that we get a couple of early wickets, and it's not too much of a big lead.
Can you take us inside the dressing room a little bit at lunchtime? It seemed that the game that was played after lunch was very different to what had been happening beforehand.
Yeah, it's normal. I mean, when I say normal, it was pretty relaxed, and I think the way Woody went out and played, he was obviously nervous before he goes into bat, and then I think he just shifted a bit of momentum our way, and then I know it was only 8 balls, but it just gave us a little bit, and then Stokes took over and did what Stokes has been doing for a long time, and put us in a position where we're 20 odd runs behind, which is not too bad in the position that we were in.
You were obviously watching Ben at Lords do what he did, but you were then out in the middle with him this morning. He seemed to be battling a fair bit of physical pain. Could you just tell us a little bit about what Ben's dealing with and what it's like to watch him go through it and sort of conquer it to some extent?
It's difficult to see. There's so much I think he's dealing with. I think when I was batting it, his hip was a little bit sore, and I think there's a lot more than he's showing. But yeah, as long as he's batting well, he's fine. So yeah, his body's obviously been through a lot. One thing with Ben is he can't do anything without being 100%. So yeah, hopefully he'll get through this series good and scoring a lot more runs.
And just on yourself, how are you feeling with the finger, and how pleased you've racked up that 200 number and with a couple of pretty nice scalps this evening as well?
Yeah, fingers are fine. It's sore, but it's not. I can bowl, so it's fine. And I'm pleased, obviously, with the 200 wickets. And yeah, I mean, we're in a good position. Those 2 wickets were, I said, gifted in a way, but I thought generally I bowled quite nicely today.
We'll go Mel, Dan Cheney at the back, and then we'll do Malik.
Actually, Mo, I was just wondering, on Mark Wood, at lunchtime saw him go across and have a net. Did he say anything before he went over or when he came back about what that was about?
Yeah, he said to me, do you reckon I should go and do some pull shots in the nets? And then I was like, yeah, why not? And then I didn't expect him to go out the first ball, hit it out the ground, and then just carry on, which was great. But I think it's the best way that he plays, and it's quite dangerous for somebody. He was expecting, because he bowled fast and bowled short in the first innings, I think he was expecting a few bounces his way.
And if I can just ask also what you think about the pitch at this point in the game, if you think there might be a lot more for it. We know there's going to be some weather around tomorrow, but a lot more in it for you in this innings?
I didn't feel like it spun much. Obviously, 1 ball went, but there's not a lot of spin in the wicket in the first 2 days anyway, and it's actually quite a nice wicket still. Once the ball gets a little bit, after probably 30 overs, it feels like it's quite nice to bat, and yeah, I mean, they're obviously a brilliant bowling attack, and we're going to have to play well to win this game.
Dan Cheney at the back, go ahead.
Mo, when you got Steve Smith out, it looked like he and Johnny Bairstow had a bit of an exchange. I'm not sure if you saw that, and if so, what were your thoughts on it?
I didn't know until Johnny said to me. All I said was "cheers so much" or something. So and then somebody mentioned it to me in the change room, but I don't know exactly what was said, and I was celebrating. so I didn't see. Sorry.
Has the match been played in pretty good spirits, from your view, given what happened at the Lords?
Yeah, it's been fine. I mean, I think this game has been really good. I think all the games have been alright, to be honest with you. So yeah, both teams have been pretty good, and there's been nothing major yet.
Malik, Will, Dan Brennan at the back.
Hi, Mo. Australia's coach has just been in and said that they feel like they're never in control of the game as long as Ben's still out there. How much of an advantage does that give you guys as a team, knowing you've got a player that just by him being out in the middle seems to kind of have the opposition on the back foot?
Yeah, I mean, he's a brilliant player. I think it's the situations more than anything. He loves those situations. He thrives off them. But we can't rely on him all the time, which is quite important for us, because we do have other very good players and dangerous players who we just need to come to the party, as well as Ben. Ben is playing brilliantly, and but there's runs out there for the players, and I know they're really hungry to score runs and hopefully chase whatever Australia get.
Mode number 199 and 200 were Marnus and Smith, in both quite kind of soft fashion by their standards, I guess. Were you kind of pretty grateful for those gifts, if you like?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I felt I didn't think I was going to get the wickets on this wicket. I didn't. First innings I was bowling, and it just like, it's not spinning much. But actually today was nice, because I try to be aggressive and attacking, but at the same time I was just like actually doing a nice job here, just not going, because obviously Robbo's down at the moment. It's with his back, and just try and do a good job, and for as long as I can. But yeah, they were nice wickets.
Did you still think you had those kind of long spells in you, if you like, to really keep the pressure when you went at 2 and over, picked up a couple? Did you think you could still do that, or did you think you were going to be more like a shock bowler in this series, if you like?
No, I don't want to sound thingy, but I've surprised myself a little bit that I've bowled 17 on the bounce there, and I've really enjoyed it. I think that's the main thing. I've enjoyed the fields that have been set, and the kind of mindset Ben has given myself, and it probably, I think, me as a spinner, it suits me a lot more. He doesn't care if I get hit here and there, and I think as a spinner, when you have that and he's not worried too much about the runs, then you actually automatically then my mindset has shifted a bit to just being attacking as well as being defensive when I need to, and it's nice. And I have played obviously test matches, and there's a bit of experience to rely on. So very rarely do I go 2 and over or whatever it is. So I'm pleased about that as well. Yeah.
To finish off, one each, please. Dan, Brayton, Matt, George, and then we'll finish with Mike.
G'day, Moeen. Just a question about yesterday. It was quite an electric passage of play when Mark Wood blew away the Australian tail. Does it bring some confidence to the side that you've got, an extreme pace bowler in this 11 in this match who can do that if you, get another wicket or 2 early? Definitely.
I think when you have somebody like Woody in your side, the way he's bowling, he's not just fast. I think he's a very good bowler, and that's where he's great to have. Even I think as a spinner, it's amazing to have somebody fast at the other end, and then you kind of work in partnerships. And I thought Wogsy as well has bowled brilliantly this game. So yeah, it's amazing to have somebody like Woody. I think it was 6 for 23 in the first dig, and in the last 6 wickets. And there's a lot of belief in the team that if we can get a couple of early tomorrow, we've got somebody who can knock over the tail with pace.
Matt?
Well, in the last 2 tests here, I think England have chased 290 and 360 to win. Don't think you were played in those 2 games, but what's the talk of how the pitches are like? Do you think they're as good as those, and how many do you think you'd be comfortable to chase?
I think it's one of those places when you're batting, the outfield is obviously electric, and if you get in, it's quite nice to bat, and it's got a little bit slower or a bit lower, kind of a bit dead and stuff. So yeah, I think we have to chase whatever they get. So it's one of those things where if you have a good start with the bat, we've got guys who've got in and got out, I think, and we've got guys who want to stand up and not just rely on Ben to score the runs, but they will take a lot of confidence from those previous games. going into whenever we need to chase whatever it is.
George and then Fisher Mike.
I just wondered whether you thought Mark Wood, of course, finished wicketless there, but I wondered if you thought his spell contributed to the wickets that you took, because he seemed to unsettle Labuschagne in particular.
Yeah, it's. I think what's great is because he's bowling fast and he's coming down the hill and he's going at them. I think some batters would be like, right, we need to score off somebody else, or we need to score some runs, because it's not just obviously bowling fast. He's not going for many runs, and one thing with a short ball plan is you don't actually leak that many runs if you have the right field and stuff. So I think both teams are doing it really well. Yeah, this is great to have someone like him, and as a spinner I think you do definitely pick up more wickets, probably just by batters being anxious to score.
Mike, finish. Thank you.
Mo, I know you've just said that you can't rely on Ben to score the runs every time, but bearing in mind how he played here 4 years ago, bearing in mind how he played at Lord's, bearing in mind how he played today in the first innings, do you think Australia might be looking at him as a bit of an almost nuclear deterrent and be a bit concerned that with Ben we can chase anything?
Yeah, I think he's the one player in the world. I think everybody will be thinking in that situation, especially against Australia, because he has done it a couple of times now, and yeah, he's, as long as he's there, like white ball, red ball, whatever it is, as long as he's there, you always got a great chance of winning. So he's obviously a brilliant player, and he's a great captain, by the way. But he's yeah, as long as he's there, we've got a good chance.
Thanks, Mo.
Thanks.